Broadcasting from Lerner and Rowe Studios, this is AZP365, your home for Arizona sports conversation. Here's your host, Jose Garcia.
The evolution of State 48's prep basketball scene continues next week as the 49th annual McDonald's All-American Games make their historic Arizona debut. Welcome in Arizona prep sports fans to another episode of the AZP365 podcast. We are at the midpoint of the spring sports season, but a winter sport is about to recapture our attention, and rightfully so. Basketball's next generation will take over Desert Diamond Arena on Tuesday as 48 of the nation's elite boys and girls prospects take the stage in a long-standing American high school tradition. The selection of Arizona for the 2026 McDonald's All-American Games highlights the state's growing influence on the national basketball landscape. The women's Final Four in Phoenix is right around the corner, and one of Arizona's most celebrated prep basketball seasons just wrapped up this month, with 3 boys teams ranked in Max Prep's top 25 for the very first time. Arizona will be well represented at the 49th annual McDonald's All-American Games. St. Mary's High's tall and talented Cameron Williams will suit up for the West team. The Duke-bound star is one of 3 finalists for the National Gatorade Basketball Player of the Year award. Cameron told us recently on our podcast that one of his goals was to be a McDonald's All-American. Mission accomplished. Congratulations. It's a coming-of-age basketball moment, not just for him, but for State 48 as well, for hosting such a prestigious event. But there's another Arizona high school representative who will participate in the McDonald's All-American Games. More on that person when we return.
This segment is presented by the Fiesta Bowl, celebrating excellence on and off the field, while creating unforgettable moments for athletes and fans across Arizona.
Candice Gonzales couldn't have scripted a better ending to her 28th season as Mesquite High School's girls basketball coach. She won a state title in February and did so with her daughter Skylie on the roster. The cherry on top, Coach Gonzales wound up being selected as the head coach of the West team for the McDonald's All-American Girls game. But before she takes her well-deserved seat on the bench, she joined us to chat about her upcoming accomplishment, coaching in one of the nation's high-profile All-Star games. Coach, congratulations on the selection. When you got the phone call and they let you know you were going to be the coach of the West team for the McDonald's All-American Girls game, your thoughts when you got the call?
Wow, such an honor, such an honor. I mean, just to be nominated, in a pool of hundreds of other coaches, and then to be picked and to actually be able to play in your home state of Arizona and have family and friends and players and, the community come and support you in that aspect. And I mean, it's just an honor and a privilege to be able to coach such a high level of basketball and be honored in that way for, I put in a lot of years in the game of basketball, coached a lot of amazing players. And so to have that recognition, obviously I wouldn't be here without them performing and their commitment to the game and commitment to me. So it's a true honor and a privilege to be able to be a part of the McDonald's All-American Games.
Absolutely. 28 years at Mesquite, the only head coach at Mesquite for girls basketball. Does this mean you get free fries now anytime you walk into a Mickey D's? Or?
I highly doubt that, but I don't know. Maybe they'll give me a fries card. I don't know. We'll see, I guess.
Well, let me know. We'll put in a good word, see if we can make it happen.
Yeah.
The game is on ESPN as well. No pressure at all, by the way.
No.
But I take it you're aware of that, and just your thoughts on it being televised nationally.
Yeah. Again, it's such an honor and a privilege to be able to do this. And it's kind of pre-planned for you, who starts, who goes in at what time. Coach Campbell might be my coach player op on the bench, and he'll be the one that'll be doing the substitution according to plan. And just them being able to go out there and play and have fun, and me just being a part of what they're doing. Really, it's up to the players on we'll throw in a few plays here and there, but who knows if he'll actually even run them. I don't know how much time we'll spend on that, but it'll be an honor to just be able to, have my feet where they are and be a part of that.
You mentioned one of your staff members.
Hmm.
Having your staff from Mesquite be at the game there with you on the bench. How much does that mean for you
Yeah.
and
I
your
mean,
staff as well?
yeah, it's awesome. I mean, Coach Bowers has been with me for 19 years, so he's been there. He's been my right-hand man. That's what I call him. And then Coach Campbell has been with me for 12. He was a previous head coach and came to be on my coaching staff. So, they're coaches that I truly trust and have literally just unselfishly sacrificed many hours and time to fit into what Coach Gonzales needs and to be able to help me run my program to be successful. It's awesome to have them, experience this with me.
With so many all-stars, and you talked about running a couple plays, picking your starting five.
Yeah.
I mean, when you have the best of the best, everybody wants playing time. How do you go about picking
Right.
your
Eeny, meeny,
starting
miny,
five?
mo, I guess.
Right?
But, it's actually, like I said, it's all pre-planned. So there's no pressure really to pick your starters or who gets to play. They try to even it out. They're very fair about it. They want everybody to have an opportunity. I haven't asked the question if I go off script, what's going to happen if I don't sub at this time or that time. But, they actually give you a sheet that says sub so at this time and so at this time. And these are your starting five. So I don't think you can go wrong with the 10 girls that I have. So it will be fun.
What a year it's been for you. I think around this time last year, you ended up being the Spirit of Con winner by the
Hmm.
Phoenix Suns. Recently, you won a state championship with your daughter on the team.
Hmm.
And then the cherry on top here, you get to be selected the head coach for the West team of the McDonald's All-American game.
Yeah.
Can you put into words what this last year has been for you?
Wow. I mean, it's just been a fun ride. You put so many years of, your heart and soul into something and to get to the rewards in the end. I mean, 28 years is a long time for one coach to be in one place and to have the accolades that I have with over 500 wins and a couple of state championships under my belt and being able to do it with, I did it with Shaylee back in 2017. I did it with Skylee, my youngest, this year. My middle daughter actually just won a national championship at Pima. So we just got back from North Carolina with that. So it just seems to be the year of celebration and it's an honor to feel the love from other people outside of just your small little community of Mesquite, getting all these awards and accolades.
You are a basketball family. I take it
Mhm.
everybody's going to be there come Tuesday.
Four of my five will be there. I have one that's unable to make it. He's in Colorado playing at Colorado Mesa University, and he won't be able to make it.
You've seen the growth of Arizona high school basketball.
Mhm.
To be the coach and now have this game for the very first time in Arizona. In your words, what does this mean for Arizona high school basketball in this state?
I feel like Arizona is growing and becoming a place of opportunity for basketball, for many other sports. People are wanting to bring it here. I mean, we have the Final Four coming, and the national championship for Division I women's basketball. So, just having that opportunity to showcase Arizona as an amazing basketball state, and obviously the growth. I've seen a ton of changes over the last 28 years in basketball, and Arizona's putting a name for themselves on the map.
And one of the reasons why also is because of the coaching like yourself. You
Mhm.
played for a great one in Minor Webster. Karen Self also coached in the McDonald's All-American game. The coaching, it is really top notch for this state.
I mean, the further I go in my years at Mesquite, the more coaches I seem to have in my community, whether it's D1 coaches or Division II coaches or, community college coaches. We have a network of an amazing group of coaches here in Arizona, and we kind of just feed off of each other. And, it's fun for those higher level coaches to say, hey, I need that play from you, and I like that play, and can you teach me that? And what do you do in this situation? So, even though I just coach high school, I feel like the knowledge that I have is beyond that. So it's fun to have that opportunity to communicate and have a network of coaches.
Congratulations. Well deserved. We'll see you on Tuesday. We'll be rooting for you and your team, and
Awesome.
maybe we might bring some fries as well come Tuesday.
That'll be the celebration dinner, right? Friday from
Indeed.
McDonald's.
Indeed, and then maybe a Coke or two.
We'll see. There you go. Yeah, awesome. I appreciate
Thanks, Coach
it.
Gonzales.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Healthcare can be complicated, but your coverage shouldn't be. Banner Aetna brings care and coverage together, making health a little less stressful. Banner Aetna, your official health insurance partner. Need a ride that goes the distance? Valley Toyota delivers dependable vehicles and award-winning service. No gimmicks, just great cars. Valley Toyota, let's go places. Strong minds matter. Talk Now AZ gives students and families access to mental health support because checking in is just as important as showing up. Talk now, talk often.
A big thank you to Coach Gonzales for taking some time to talk to us. We'll be rooting for Coach Gonzales and St. Mary's Cameron Williams when the McDonald's All-American Games take place on Tuesday at 4 and 6 p.m. at Desert Diamond Arena. If you can't attend the games, make sure to watch them on ESPN. I have a feeling our next guest will be tuning in to see how the officials do. We'll explain why after a brief timeout.
This segment is brought to you by Raising Cane's, home of the craveable chicken fingers, signature cane sauce, and fueling fans and athletes alike.
Brian Gessner is in his 8th season as the Arizona Interscholastic Association's Commissioner of Officials. Who better to bring in during the AIA's Spring Sports Officials Appreciation Week than Mr. Gessner? There's a lot of great news surrounding our state high school officials that Brian also wants to share. How's your bracket? First of all, is it in shambles like mine?
No, because I do it a little bit differently than everybody else. I work backwards instead of forwards, so no, my brackets are still in good shape. Although I don't have a lot of the upsets, but I have 15 of the 16, so
wow.
How about
that's
that?
Impressive.
How about that?
Yeah.
There you go. What do you mean for an official? Right? We know basketball. You better believe it. Yeah.
I got to get some tips from you.
Yes, you should. My wife does.
It is Appreciation Week. We have plenty of great officials for every sport in our state. Tell us about what this week means for them and for you as well.
So reflecting back on all that we've accomplished with the officials, and there have been a lot of gains, a lot of positives. This may be the best thing we've ever done. The official coach, the official fan relationship has always been contentious. It's the nature. We know that going into it. But when you can celebrate an Officials Appreciation Week and the schools all come forward with their creativity, yes, announcements appreciating the officials, pictures where the two teams come together with the officials, the gift bags, the notes that are written, it's not unnoticed when the communities together come together and we all realize we're all in this for one reason and one common goal. And it is such a rewarding experience when you go out and you watch a school. It doesn't take but a minute or two, but to celebrate these officials and their commitment so we can play these games. It's so rewarding. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it again. Hundreds of schools and hundreds of coaches and administrators literally creatively come together to do this celebration. And I get hundreds of pictures. We do it 3 times a year. Mm-hmm. Fall's the best, of course, because we're new, right? The school's year just started. Winter is awesome because of the volume of games. We get into the spring, and then they start getting really creative. But it's so rewarding for the officials, and I get a lot of pictures of how it transpired. So
the sacrifices that they make. Last week, I was at a baseball game for the Boris Baseball Classic. It's triple-digit weather. There was a game that went to 13 innings. You remember about the players, obviously, and their safety, but at the same time, the officials, they're wearing black shirts, they're in pants. Again, back to the sacrifices that they make. They do a lot. Tell us about some of those sacrifices that they make.
The commitment level from the officiating community is that does go unnoticed. We'll have issues with scheduling. where an AD will call me and say, hey, we got a problem, we missed a game, how do we get this covered? And literally within 10 minutes, I don't have to make a lot of phone calls. We will have officials at that game.
Wow.
People will drop whatever they do. They will drive for hours and miles to fulfill an officiating assignment. They do more than just that. They support one another. We had a guy yesterday in a baseball game, first inning, take a foul ball right to the face mask. Bloodied his face. He was spitting up blood. Of course, the trainer came out and checked him, and he was concussed. He didn't want to come out of the game because you miss that assignment, you'll never make it up. It's things that we don't talk about that the officiating community comes together. They'll drive hundreds of miles for an assignment.
And they have 9 to 5 gigs, right? This isn't all they do during the week.
Correct. This is an avocation for them. This isn't their main source of income. You know, for officiating, just like athletes, the window's not very long. Officiating is a little bit longer, but they understand too that, you know, I might not be able to do this tomorrow, so they want to take advantage of it. And the spirit of competition that comes over these guys, it's just like an athlete, man. You want to go out there and you want to compete, and you want to be the best you can be, and safe, out, fair, fall, ball strike, all that matters to these guys. So
the philanthropic work that they've done also, you were telling me a couple of days about. I didn't know about this event that you guys put together during the Christmas time.
I got to give credit to Jeannie Kosower, the Assistant State Commissioner of Official. She makes us better. She makes AIA better. Everybody should know Jeannie. Everybody probably does know Jeannie. She makes me better. When I first started this job, she came to me and she goes, Brian, we got thousands of officials. We ought to be able to come together and create some sort of philanthropic project. Mm-hmm. And absolutely, there's power in numbers. We sat down, what do you want to do, Jeannie? Well, over the years, it keeps continuing to evolve. We started out small. Last year, we had a Christmas Angel Drive. And we had over $18,000 wow. that the officiating community donated to the Christmas Angel. But the officiating community comes together for this. These are the kind of things we don't want to talk about that too much. That's not something we want to be known for. We want to be known for being fair and impartial and calling the best game and providing the best opportunity for kids. But as a community, we have almost 6,000 officials. They come together and they donate their time and their efforts and now their money. And next year we're going to probably do the same thing, because who doesn't want to get behind kids with a toy drive? And we'll donate even more money. The officiating community responds. It's a great resource. By the way, over the last few years, many of the officials that we have are the tournament workers that are working our postseason tournaments as well. They may be security or ticket takers or team liaisons or what have you, sweeping the floors. They do a lot of things, but we are now using the officiating community to help support our tournaments. So the outpouring of support towards the AIA and athletics in general is tremendous from this community.
Another important staff member of yours, Tyler Caramelli, and what he does. It's a 3-man crew here at the AIA, including yourself. Tell us about Tyler and his role and what he brings to the table.
So Tyler is unique. He has, as most people know, and if they don't, they're going to find out now, he's an NFL replay official. So he brings a great deal of credibility, especially with football, in his knowledge and rules and how to officiate in the football environment. But Tyler also has other experiences that he brings. He has tournaments, so he's a tournament coordinator as well. That being said, we're very lucky to have him, his organization skills. The three of us work very well together. We're in concert. We think alike. So anything we can do to enhance officiating, promote officiating in Arizona so kids can play. And Tyler's a critical component of that. By the way, I also have area commissioners strategically placed around the state who are great problem solvers. They deal specifically with athletic directors, but they also deal with officials, and they do our assigning in Sierra Vista, in Tucson, Yuma, Flagstaff, and in the mountains. So we do have a lot of support. And the volunteerism. If you can imagine, we have over 150,000 assignments. And when you start considering scheduling conflicts, where people have to reschedule due to weather or timing or what have you, you can add another 10 or 15,000 upon that. So we're very blessed that the officiating community also helps us from a volunteer standpoint with some assigning Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Doolittle. I don't know if that name rings a bell, but it should. Fighter pilot said there's nothing greater than the heart of a volunteer, and it's certainly true, and it's demonstrated with the numbers and the outstanding support we have in accomplishing what we need to do.
There's power in numbers. You mentioned it. A couple numbers I want to talk about. The number of officials are up in Arizona. The number of ejections are down in Arizona. Explain that for us. I know it was a little bit different maybe a year ago or two, but tell me about the switch.
That's a good question. So strategically, if you can provide a better, healthier environment for all stakeholders, players, coaches, fans, officials, more people will come. Mm-hmm. So what we've tried to do over the years strategically is improve the environment through a sportsmanship initiative, which has been wildly accepted by everybody, coaches, players, officials, and fans. And the environment, while there's room for improvement, there's always room for improvement. We're sensationalized with YouTube when you see the fights, right? What we don't see are the great celebrations when two teams play an outstanding contest and kids are helping each other up off the floor or off the field or whatever, shaking hands and high-fiving one another. That's what interscholastic sports should be about, right? The spirit of competition and the extension of the classroom. Those are the type of things that we need to celebrate, and we're showing fewer and fewer ejections. We're seeing better sportsmanship. We have these initiatives where we recognize and celebrate good sportsmanship at our championship events. Yep. You've been a part of that. We also do it at our championship gala where we celebrate a school from each conference for being the most outstanding school over the year. We hope to enhance that in the coming years with a cash reward. That is solely funded by the officiating community, to where basketball raises money through camps, others raise money through tournaments and or association fees. But we do raise some money. We're going to collect those dollars, and they want to give it back to the schools that demonstrate the highest and greatest sportsmanship. So we are seeing some changes, which is important, right?
Yes.
We don't want our participation numbers to decline. We want to see more kids play. We want to see at least 3 teams in every school, freshman, JV, and varsity. We have to have that. If we don't, programs are going to suffer, and we've been suffering. Hopefully we can turn that around and more kids will participate. So it's very strategic. What's good for one is good for all.
We celebrate them this week, the officials, but we're going to celebrate them throughout the school year and the remainder of the season. One of the best here just joined us, Brian Gessner. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And I promise we'll bring you the bag of peanuts during the next interview.
M&M's, come on, man.
M&M's, that's
I'm going to have
what it
to
is.
talk to my agent.
Quick timeout. Because injuries don't follow a game clock, Banner Urgent Care delivers fast, convenient care so you can get back in the action. Banner Urgent Care. Urgent care when you need it most. Your money shouldn't ride the bench. America First Credit Union helps you save, spend, and plan smarter so your finances stay in the game. America First Credit Union. People helping people. Pre-game meals shouldn't slow your team down. EG's team meals are protein-packed and easy to coordinate. Share a 3-foot sub with your team, or enjoy half or whole subs by the dozen. No prep, no hassle, so you can keep the focus on your game. Order now on eat.egs.com. From carpools to clutch moments, Nissan is built for every drive. Reliable, innovative, and always ready to roll. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Thank you to Brian Gessner for sitting on the hot seat, and thanks to all of the officials for the sacrifices they make to ensure a great experience for our student athletes. If you are interested in becoming an official, make sure to go to aiaonline.org to register. This week, somebody did join the AIA crew. We'll introduce you to that person right after this brief message.
This segment is brought to you by Banner Sports Medicine, the exclusive sports medicine partner dedicated to keeping Arizona athletes healthy, strong, and game ready.
I don't have TikTok on my phone, but I know somebody that does, and she's preparing to use every social media tool available to showcase what makes the AIA student athletes so great. We welcome in the first ever social media strategist for the AIA, Allison Schmidt. Allie, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm good. I'm excited to be here.
Have you been to Arizona before?
Yes, I have. I have friends and family here, so I love it. Love the desert, love the heat.
So you're aware of the heat then?
Yes,
right?
I'm ready for it.
So you're prepared for it?
Yes, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we get to your role here with the AIA. Okay. Are you originally from Arizona?
No, I'm originally from southern Utah, born and raised there. And then I went to college at Utah Valley University, and I was there for 3 years. I studied communications with a minor in marketing. And then I got a job at Southern Virginia University, is where I've been working for the last 2 years for them, doing social media and just working with all their sports accounts. So it's been super fun. I love social media. I'm all about the trends, all the TikTok stuff. I love personality content. So I'm here and ready to have fun.
I'm a dinosaur. Tell us all about the social media side of things, because it's really taken off. And obviously, we're a high school sports association.
Yes.
The kids are on TikTok, on Instagram. Tell us all about that role.
So social media is like always changing. So main platforms I like to use are TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, X. Don't love her, we kind of put it out on the back burner, but it's still a social media platform we can use. But
I'll take care of it. Don't worry about
okay, perfect. I'll hand it over to you.
All right, thanks.
Just getting on trends, highlighting games, coverages like that. Just showing our student athletes like stories is like my big thing. Like people want to know behind the scenes, like what's going on in practices, day-to-day life. Like there's always games, and which is great coverage too, but just showcasing stories.
This has turned into a job.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, right?
Isn't that crazy?
Up, yes.
Yeah, I never would have thought, like, growing up that I wanted to do this as a job even.
And that's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
Obviously, having a phone by your side growing up, when did you think, or when did it start to begin to say, hey, you know what? I can turn this into a profession?
Actually, in college, I started, like, volunteering for our student section is actually how I got into sports. I just randomly went to a volleyball game one time, and I had some friends that were like, oh, like, let's go check out, like, student section. So we went there, and I was, like, talking to the people that were working the tailgate, and they were like, oh, like, would you want to help us? And I was like, yeah, I want a job. So that's how I got into it, and then made connections in marketing. And then that's when I declared my major after that. I wanted to be in sports. That's how I got into social media, started doing tailgates for student sections, and then started taking pictures and videos and making TikToks with everybody. And then kind of from there, that's where it took off.
But you have a passion for it, right?
Yes, I love it. Yeah.
Your sports, obviously, get into that. There's different things you can do with social media, but you decided to go to the sports route. When did that come about? How did that start?
In high school, I always played basketball and volleyball growing up throughout all my years, so I just loved sports. But yeah, in college, I think is really where it took off, just that passion for sports. I've always loved like in-game moments, like highlights like that. Just championship stuff. Those are also the best games to cover, like all the emotions, even like the sad emotions for like the teams that are losing. Like it's just so emotional, and everybody loves to react to it and just share, and like creating that content is so meaningful. So stuff like that I just love.
Well, that's awesome. We're glad you're on board now. You've been here for a couple of days.
Yeah, not even a full week yet.
Right. We'll tell you this, I think there's more than 280 high schools in our state. So it's going to take a while, obviously, to settle in.
Yes, still learning the ropes.
Right. But your first impressions here so far, now that you're Arizona, you've met Kevin Connors, our Emmy award-winning videographer. You met the staff now.
Yep.
Your first impression so far of AIA in the state?
I love it. I'm all about sports. I love Arizona. AIA is so awesome. I think that you guys do so much, and I can't wait to contribute to that and be a part of an awesome organization like this.
That's awesome. Welcome on board. Folks are going to want to know, how can they get in touch with you? How can they follow you?
Yeah.
Where are all your ats for social media?
Yeah, I have like my personal social media, and then like I have a media social media where I'll post like all my work that I do. So I guess on there we can do a shout out if we want, but Allison Schmidt, that's basically all you got to look up, and I'm there.
And now you're closer to home, right?
Yes. Yeah. About 4 or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
welcome. You're at your new home now.
Yes.
A home away from home in a
Home away
sort.
from
So
home. Yes.
welcome on board.
Thank you.
For being on here. And by the way, she's going to be joining us pretty much every week with a social media segment. So stay tuned and make sure to follow Allie. Allie's first assignments will be Tuesday's McDonald's All-American Games and the High School Sprite Jam Fest, a 3-point contest, dunk competition, and skills challenge that's on Monday at Millennium High School. We look forward to seeing her coverage on AZP365 social media channels. And who knows, one of these days, I might end up getting a TikTok tip from her. We'll see. Thank you for watching, and congratulations again go out to Cameron Williams of St. Mary's High and Candice Gonzales of Mesquite for being selected for one of the highest high school honors. We'll see you next week.